Hello everyone. In today's video, we will speak about money laundering and three stages of money laundering. What is money laundering? In very simple language, process of making dirty money clean. And in a in a little detailed definition, money laundering has been described as the process by which the proceeds of crime are put through a series of transactions which disguise the illicit origin and make them appear to have come from a legitimate source. We will discuss this in more detail when we come to the slides on three stages of money laundering. But before that, let understand different attributes of money laundering. So the one of the important attribute of money laundering is motivation. So that is profit seeking and benefit from the proceed of their crime. I may be a drug trafficker. Now, using drug trafficking, I have attained lot of cash, and using money laundering, I would bring that money into the system, and I can use that money for any of the benefit. I can purchase a high value goods, like I can buy jewelry, I can buy a car, I can buy an asset, like a house, and also at the same time I make the dirty fund uh, look appears that may be coming from legitimate source. So what is the source of funding in case of money laundering? It has been seen the source of funding is always an illegal source, be it drug trafficking, financial fraud, sale of armaments, sale of or maybe human trafficking, and in all other illegal sources. Objective: to convert the black money into clean fund and make the dirty fund appear to be processed from legal activity. So what is the life circle? It's a circular life cycle in case of money laundering, where money is laundered from not laundered, I would say money is attained from through illegal sources. Money launderer introduce that money into the system, and that money would move from his account to multiple account where multiple transactions are made, and then ultimately that money come back to the money launderer. So that's why we say it's a circular life cycle. So let's say also understand how is a money laundered. Fund for money laundering are typically derived from drug trafficking, human trafficking, tax evasion, financial fraud, corruption, bribes, illegal sale of wildlife product, and other specified predicate offense. We also need to understand that money laundering is not a new concept. The term has its origination from 1930s, and at that time money laundering was associated with a few crimes like drug trafficking and human trafficking. But over a period of time, trend, technology, method of money laundering has changed, and currently this is just a list of indicative list uh, of method of money laundering. Did you know, as per the study by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, it was estimated that criminal proceed amounted to 3.6% of global GDP, with 2.7% being laundered, and also an estimate by the International Monetary Fund, who stated that aggregate size of money laundering in the world could be somewhere between 2 to 5% of the world gross domestic product. So now let's understand stages of money laundering. Initially, we said it's a circular flow where money launderer introduce money into the system, and then the the money is introduced in the system through a process called placement, and then lot of transactions are made just to confuse the whole audit trail. And then in the last stage the money is integrated, consolidated, and then that money come back to money launderer. So basically, to perform money laundering, money launderer would follow these three stages, and there have been a lot of instances where we have seen money launderer following these stages, these three stages. And it depend on person to person whether he would like to follow all the three stages, or he would only follow one or two, or all the three stages. So let's understand stage one, which is placement in little detail. So placement is during the initial phase, the money launderer introduces his illegal proceed into the financial system. Some of the example can be shipping money across borders to deposit in the foreign financial institution, or maybe depositing permissible amount in a bank account. So in the placement stage, we are depositing or introduce money into the legal financial system. When I transfer money from one country to another country through illegal remittance system, just like a hawala, that would not be considered as a financial system, right? So in this stage, money launderer is bringing the money into the financial system. Now, once the money is introduced in the system, then he move on to stage two, which is layering. This stage involved converting the proceed of crime into another form and creating complex layer of financial dealing to disguise the audit trail. So some of the example are transfers of deposited cash from one account to another, converting deposited cash from into monetary instrument. So for example, in the placement stage, I have introduced money uh, maybe within the threshold, and now in this stage I can transfer this money from my bank account to my family member bank account or my friend bank account, and then either or maybe I can what I can do is I can buy a traveler check or a insurance policy, which I can surrender within the grace period of 30 days or 60 days and get the refund from insurance company. So this would put a complex layer and also disguise the authority, and also make it difficult for a financial institution to understand that this money is not coming from any illegal source. So once layering is done, we have performed multiple transaction. Also, we have tried to confuse the whole audit trail. Then money launderer move to stage three, which is integration. This stage entail placing laundered proceed back into the economy to create a perception of legitimacy. So, for example, buying a high value goods, investment in real estate, investment in business venture. So by the time I'm on this stage, so what I've done is at the placement stage I have introduced money. Then in the stage two I have moved fund from one bank account to another, or with that money I have a purchase insurance policy which I may surrender and get the refund from insurance company. That would again put another layer of transaction. And in this stage, what money launderer would do is he would consolidate the money which he has introduced, and then he can use that money for buying a high value good or a real estate, or maybe he can invest the money in any of the business venture. So that's all about the three stages. Let's also understand three stages or method of money laundering through a pictorial representation. So in this example, there is a money launderer who involved in illegal activity. So it can be kidnapping, it can be drug trafficking, or it can be any other illegal activity. So that would result in black money, dirty money, right? So in the placement stage, money launderer would introduce money into the financial system, where he would deposit money in a bank account in in the first stage, right? Now he would move on to next stage, which is layering, where he would make a multiple transaction, or he would create a whole web of transaction just to confuse the whole audit trail. So what he does is he make the credit card payment, or he would overpay his credit card payment and ask for a refund from the credit card company, and he'll also wire transfer to other bank account. So this will be a multiple transaction, and this would seems it would seems like it's very genuine transaction, and no bank or investigator would have any doubt on these normal or usual transactions. So this is where the whole multiple transactions are made, and it seems that the money is coming from a legal source. So for example, if money is coming from credit card company, although it's a refund, nobody would question that. And then money is coming from my family member account who's in another country, right? So I can justify that I require some money, and that's the reason my family is sending that money to my account, right? And it's a very usual transaction, and that can be justified. So once I consolidate the whole amount into my bank account, then I can buy a property, I can buy a car, or I can buy a high value product. So ultimately, the money which I have introduced has come back to me in a circular life cycle. So that's all about money laundering as a process. Thank you so much for your time today, and you all have a good day.